Boys and girls, we're going to finish the book that we started and find out a little bit more about our vegetables and how they grow. We talked about how some vegetables we eat are the roots, some are the stem, some are the leaves, and some are even the fruit. Watching a garden grow is a lot of fun, but taking care of a garden is also a lot of work. We need to water and to feed the growing plants. Sometimes if God doesn't send the rain, we have to water it ourselves if we want our fruits or our vegetables to grow. Soon the plants grow flowers. Don't pick them because the flowers grow into vegetables. Vegetables grow in different ways. Red chili peppers and peas grow on vines above the ground. Here you can see how they're above ground. This is a pea pod, and we learned what happened if you can open up the pea pods. Better watch out, they might jump out at you. Cucumbers and squash grow on vines on the ground. This looks a little bit like the pumpkins we watched growing in the fall and how the fruit comes from after the flower. Potatoes, carrots, and radishes grow under the ground. Here we have potatoes. We can't see what's happening below the ground, so we pretty much kind of have to guess when our vegetables are ready to be picked. Now it's time to pick the vegetables. Here this little girl looks like she's picking corn on the cob, and these kids are picking peas. What kinds of vegetables do you like to eat? The girl here is eating corn on the cob. She's eating the seeds of that vegetable. Boys and girls, I have a fun book for you. It's about tops and bottoms. The name of our book is Tops and Bottoms by Janet Stevens. And again, here's some more of those vegetables we eat, the roots, the stem, the leaves. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was to sleep. Not far down the road lived Hare. Although Hare was very clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all of his land to Bear to pay off the debt. Hare and his family were in a very bad shape. "The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something," Mrs. Hare cried out one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. "Hello, Bear, wake up! It's your neighbor Hare. I have an idea." Bear opened one eye and grunted. "We can be business partners," Hare said. "All we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, sir, Bear, we are in this together. I'll work, you sleep." "Huh?" said Bear. "So what'll it be, Bear?" asked Hare. "The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you, tops or bottoms." Let's see," Bear said with a yawn. I'll take the top half, Hare. Yep, right, tops." Hare smiled. "Well, it's a done deal, Bear." Go. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the top halves, I get the bottoms." Hare and his family dug up the carrots and the radishes and the beets. Hare plucked off all the tops and tossed them into a pile for Bear and put the bottoms aside for himself. He got the radishes and the carrots. Looks like Bear got just the green parts. Bear stared at his pile. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. Well, you chose the tops, Bear, Hare said. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You planted this field again, and this season I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. It's a done deal, Bear. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted and watered and weeded. Bear looks pretty cozy, doesn't he? Bear slept as the crops grew. And when it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, Wake up, Bear! You get the bottoms, I get the tops. Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. Bear looked at his pile and scowled. Hare, you've cheated me again. But Bear, Hare said, you wanted the bottoms this time. Bear growled. You plant this field again, Hare. You've tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms. You're right, poor old Bear, sighed Hare. It's only fair that you get both tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted and watered and weeded, then watered and weeded some more. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, Wake up, Bear! This time you get the tops and the bottoms. There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every cornstalk. Hare tugged off the roots and the bottoms of the tassels at the top and put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms. I get the middles. Yes, sir, Bear, it's a done deal. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops, and take the tops and the bottoms and the middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought back his land with a profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners ever again. The end.